In today's world, we find ourselves in a situation where we have a lot of issues, a lot of doom and gloom. They're at the national level, at the local level, we find ourselves in a time of diminishing resources and rising need. And a lot of people look at that and see doom and gloom, but at SVP we look at that and really all we see is potential. We see that there is an opportunity when times are really difficult, that if we can focus our time and our money in an effective way, we really have an opportunity right now to make a big difference. My desire to give back to the community comes out of my own personal experience, and I think it does for most people. When I was 9 years old, I lost my dad to cancer, and we grew up in a small town in Texas. We didn't have a lot of money, but my mother pushed education, and so my brother and I were the first generation in our family to go to college. And education has had a transformational effect on my life. It has enabled me to do things in my business and profession and with my family and my community that, quite frankly, I never dreamed possible. And so it's not surprising when you look at the organizations that I'm involved with, they have something to do with healthcare, cancer specifically, and education. And I just believe that others deserve the same opportunity that I have, and if I can do anything to help ignite that in them, I want to be able to do that. SVP gives me an opportunity to magnify that result. When a group of people come together, as we do in SVP, 1 + 1 is equal to a lot more than 2. It is that collaborative, cooperative, marshaling our resources together affords us the opportunity to really drive the mission of some of our community partners forward in a way that individually we just simply don't have that same capacity. But together we can really make a big difference. In many ways, charity is a very local thing, right? And so it is true that it is local, and it is true that change really happens kind of only one person at a time, kind of one human being to another. But it's also true that we can learn from each other. And so in Austin, I can learn from people in Seattle or Boulder or San Diego, what's happening in their community, what's effective in their community. I can take that back to Austin and we can use that there. Hopefully we can have some of that same effect giving back, to others around the country. But there's another real benefit, and that is that our collective voice, national and international voice, gives us the ability to really play a leadership role to make a change at this critical time of diminishing resources and increasing need. We've got to change the dialogue, and SVP can do that. Collectively, the network can do that, whereas any individual or any individual city really doesn't have the capacity to do that. One of the great examples, I think, of how SVP can really make a difference in a community it has to do with one of our community partners in Austin. It's a wonderful group called College Forward. They work with all low-income, first-generation college students, and they coach and mentor those kids from junior and high school all the way through to a college degree and a job, right? So if you look at that national population, kids that are in that low income bracket, about 8% of them get to that 4-year college degree. College Forward kids, almost 80% of them get through that process, right? So what that does for that individual and that family is to break the cycle of poverty. It really is transformational, and not just for that one student, but they bring their siblings, their cousins, through that process, and it ultimately changes for the whole family, that dynamic. When College Forward started about 8 years ago with 30 kids. When we got involved with them 2 years ago, they were serving 2,500 students. We've helped them develop a 5-year growth plan. They're now at about 3,800 students, on their way to 15,000 at the end of that 5-year period, and the development of what we believe is going to be a national model, right? So our role in that is to serve as catalyst, coach, and cheerleader for them. Those are the things that we really do for them, and it inspires and empowers them to take that work, to the next level. That is what I think SVP really can do for a community organization.